here's the story of the raising of Lazarus. And so often in video and movie and so on and so forth, we think of the raising of Lazarus as Jesus approaching the tomb yelling, "Lazarus, come out." And when I first saw this, that's the way I thought this was. I thought this was Jesus and this was Lazarus. But it's the reverse. We're in the tomb with Lazarus in this image. We're sitting there with Lazarus. And Christ is there at the entrance of the tomb, beckoning us out of the tomb, calling us to life. The other historical marker here is if you've ever heard people's experiences of near-death experiences, the tunnel of light is represented there, that people report seeing. So we're in the tomb with Lazarus, and the tunnel of light is our way to life in Christ.
And the butterfly, is that going to
Again,
go to the light?
Yeah, the butterfly or the moth, representative
moth.
of the Christian traditions of resurrection. If we go to this next one, these are what's called the I am sayings. In the Old Testament, when God gives Moses his name, he says, I am. And that's translated into Hebrew as Yahweh. And so Jesus uses I am sayings in the Gospel of John several times. And if you look at the bottom, you can see in Hebrew there are no vowels. So you've got the Hebrew English spelling of Yahweh, Y-H-W-H at the bottom of the page. Again, portraying that Jesus is the incarnation of Yahweh in society in our world. This next one's one of my favorites as well. Have you ever done that thing in the comics page? I'm not saying this is comical, but have you ever done that thing in the comics page where you look at one panel and then you look at the other panel and you've got to find 6 differences? Mm-hmm. You can do this and kind of tell the story of the woman caught in adultery. What differences do you see?
More people.
Okay, and the top one, there's more people. Yeah, all the men who are accusing her have gone away.
The curtain's down.
In the top one, the curtain's down. In the bottom ones, the curtain is drawn back, representing that the dignity of entry into the temple has been restored to her. This is also done by Aidan Hart. He broke the rule again. You'll notice the hand is outside the page. And in Hebrew, that word is the word for adultery. And the representation being that how often do we take our words, toss them at people to hurt them? And just the last little piece is, notice in the top panel, Jesus is bent over, drawing in the ground. In the bottom panel, he's upright, speaking directly to her. And her head is uncovered and her hands are apart in the top panel. And her head is covered and her hands are together, representing her restoration to dignity within the Jewish tradition. There's also, you can see the rocks they dropped on the ground.
They were going to stone her.
Yep.